And so we conclude this Let's Play of Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars, the Director's Cut. For those of you who have come with me from the beginning of this Let's Play, as usual, I'd like to offer my thanks, and I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, this was my first experience at a blind Let's Play, not knowing what the game had in store for me. Overall, I think it was a pretty nice and smooth experience. So now that I've played the game for the first time, what are my thoughts? Overall, I would give this game, on a scale of 1 to 10, probably a 6. Definitely a solid adventure game in all of the basic components. The interface was easy to learn. The puzzles were a bit on the easy side, but then again, if they lean too much on the hard side, it can get really frustrating, so I'm not going to fault them too much on that. I liked some of the characters, but overall I felt one of the weaknesses of the game was that not a whole lot of the characters were really memorable to me. And this is something that, in some cases is a matter of taste. Obviously, this series of games has a lot of fans because they've made several sequels. But, just purely in my opinion, I didn't really find any characters, with the exception of maybe Nico, that I really wanted to learn more about. The story is presented in a piecemeal way that just really didn't gel very well to me. A lot of things kept resolving themselves seemingly out of nowhere, and I felt a little bit lost, especially near the very end game. And the end game itself felt a bit rushed to me, to the point where, I wasn't really figuring anything out anymore. I was just, letting things happen on the screen. It was not quite so satisfying a conclusion. Usually you want to at least have some decision or some puzzle that you solve at the very end to give you that last kind of kick. Yeah, so I think that's my criticism for this. This story, it didn't really gel for me, and most of the characters were not very memorable. So, overall, kind of a mixed reaction to this game. And I'll say it, I've said it a couple times during the Let's Play, but I'll just make it official here, is that because of the way the two kind of main characters were presented, I think it was a bit of a shame. On the one hand, Nico had an interesting backstory, but it really didn't go into it that much, and you didn't spend a lot of time playing as Nico. On the other hand, you spent all this time playing with George, but he didn't really have a backstory. He's just this dude that shows up as a tourist, and then gets pulled into these events. Usually you want to have a main character have some kind of personal engagement in what's going on in the story. And there really wasn't any solid grounding in why he would be interested in solving this mystery, besides just some vague, I need to find it out for great justice or something like that. It's kind of thin. And then, of course, in order to give him some kind of personal attachment, they made this cheesy love story between him and Nico, which, of course, doesn't go anywhere until the final, 5 seconds of the story or something like that. So, again, that was kind of disappointing for the most part to me. I mean, if I seem a little overly harsh on this game, I think it's just because games like The Longest Journey have kind of spoiled me for story and character development. So when I see something that doesn't live up to that standard, it kind of stands out, probably more so than if I hadn't played those other games first. That said, though, on the other hand, great music. I'm not surprised why they don't offer this game soundtrack for sale. It makes sense. So, yeah, I think that pretty much ends up my kind of thoughts on the game. So, once again, I hope you enjoyed me taking this blind Let's Play through it. And, as usual, I'm going to take a break now that this LP is concluded. And this break will probably last for the most or the entirety of the summer, and that's because I need to finish up some stuff early in the summer, and then I'm going to be taking a new job at a new location in the fall. And I'd also like to get some vacation and some travel time in as well. So I'm going to be running around preparing for the new job and going on summer travel. And I'm pretty sure that I won't have too much opportunity to do a Let's Play during that time. So rather than have it be piecemeal, I'm just going to hold off and say that I'll pick up the next Let's Play in the fall. Probably either September or October. So, as usual, I'm taking a break, but I'm not going anywhere. I'll still be around. Feel free to continue to leave feedback. And speaking of feedback, for my next Let's Play, I'll be going back to a game that I'm familiar with. And I have two options in mind, so if you have a preference, feel free to put it down in the comments to this video, or leave a comment in the channel itself. Either way is fine. The options are either A, to do an LP of the adventure game The Dig by LucasArts. That's an old favorite of mine, and I wouldn't mind going through that little sci-fi adventure. The other possibility would be to continue on with the Dragon Age Let's Play, and to do 2 of the expansions on the original Origins game. Firstly is Dragon Age Awakening, which continues the adventure of the Warden with a new cast of characters. And then followed that up with a very small expansion called Witch Hunt, which is where you get to see a little bit more of the Warden and Morrigan arc. So of all the expansion material that's come out for Origins, those are the 2 that I'd really like to do, and that should lead us into eventually the Let's Play of Dragon Age 2. But there's no hurry, so I'd be willing to do either one, either the Dig or Dragon Age expansions. So if you have a preference, or even if you don't have a preference, let me know either way. And when I get back into the LP chair in the fall, I will take your feedback into account when I decide which Let's Play to do next. So until then, I hope you guys have a great summer. Keep finding awesome video games to let me know about so that I can do Let's Plays of them in the future. And until then, fellow adventurers, take care.